Aloha and welcome to the Lokomai Life. Today we're starting a new series. It's a series where we can bring to the public's attention a story of someone who has gone missing. This country currently has a large number of people who have gone missing, and their stories have been lost, or their stories were never quite told. This video and the future videos like it will be sharing information on a child or an adult who may have been taken by a family member or a stranger abduction, or maybe themselves under circumstances disappeared. And we can get the word out about them and perhaps, just perhaps, make the connection to either bring them home or close a chapter and give peace to a family. So join me on this journey as we get to know people out there who need to be known. This week, I'd like to introduce you to Isabella Kalua. Her birth name is actually Ariel Sellers. However, she was adopted when she and a few of her siblings were taken from the birth parents and adopted by the Kalua family. Isabella was actually last seen on September 12th at about 9 p.m. According to her adopted parents, they saw her last when she was heading off to bed. They had told her time to go to sleep, and she headed off to bed. At the time, she was wearing a black hoodie, black leggings, colorful socks, and Nike slides with pink bottoms. And she has brown hair, brown eyes, and is adorable. She is actually adorable. She has one of those little smiles that just, the personality in this girl just from her smile. I mean, she is adorable. So anyhow, the family actually recognized that she was missing the next morning. According to them, she went to bed and the next morning she was missing. Now, there have been a number of issues with the adopted family's story, and these videos are not going to be to go into the theories and assumptions and things that are found out as we go through the cases. That is something we could look at in further videos. But for right now, this is to introduce you to the person and get their story out there so we can start looking for them. So, however, the story itself on her disappearing did change. Originally, the lawyer for the adopted family said, Isabella is not the type of girl who would go wandering around or anything like that, so it had to be she was abducted. However, that story did change, where initially the lawyer was like, oh, no, she would not ever wander off or anything like that. The adopted family is now saying that she was known to wander off. She would actually wander out of the house in the middle of the night, and there were times they would wake up in the morning and find her asleep in the yard. Now, I'm not going to get into questioning that. Okay, yes, there's been a change in the story. Do remember, for those of you on the mainland, this is Hawaii, where it would not be unheard of. We don't have the weather issues that other people have. Even at night, we're talking about 70-degree weather and stuff like that. However, there is definitely a difference in the stories there. In their, adopted families, 9 o'clock, they put her to sleep, woke up in the morning thinking that she'd be outside. She was not outside or anything. There have been some other little issues there. There was some evidence that their door opened at 1 a.m., but there's nothing as to what time the door reopened for people to come back inside. So there's some stuff there, but there is also no video. The video was not working at that time. So the family lives on an area of the island of Oahu, a town called Waimanalo. Waimanalo is actually on the east side of the island in general. It is a area that has a lot of families. Okay, large extended families, local families. The idea of Ohana is true. People know each other. You go everywhere, everyone knows each other in the town. So, location wise, Waimanalo, to give you an idea, is bordered on one side by the mountains, on the other side by the ocean, and in between the two, we have an extremely well traveled road. Okay, it's not necessarily a highway per se, but it's the main road that goes around the island. You have to go on that if you're going to go into town or anything like that. So it's a fairly narrowish area. There is a lot of stuff in the area, from small shopping areas to gas stations, families that live, and many of the families are multi-generational type families, so everyone knows everyone. A lot of places where people are buying and selling fruit and stuff like that, so you can see a lot of different things going on. So when Isabella went missing, the community really came together and they started looking for her. They started trying to find her. Multiple places became focal sites. One of those focal sites was the dump, where a lot of the trash was pulled and things like that. It was fairly close to the area. So many people did start looking in that area. One of the things that was found was a photo album of hers that was handed over to the police department. From what I understand, that's where that's. I haven't heard any further news about that. However, of course, we haven't found anything further in the dump or anything other than the photo album. The other thing that was found of note was when a bunch of people started looking in an area known as Bellows Beach Park. Bellows Beach Park is one of the beach areas a little more east. It is partially owned by city as well as the military. It's an area many of the military people, they have little houses people can rent and stuff like that for the weekend and all that. What was found by some people when they were looking in that area was a little girl's backpack with toys in it. It was thought, last I heard, that those were potentially Isabella's toys. Those are the two big pieces of information I've had come across. There have been some other concerning elements just to share as part of her story. As you know, she was adoptive. There have been some concerns about the adoptive family. The adoptive father was in trouble with the law a number of years ago for assault and terroristic threatening, if I recall. She was also pulled out of school recently. Now, for those of you who don't know, Hawaii is extremely strict with our COVID rules. Being an island, we have the potential to keep things tight here. So what that has led to is many of our schools are still on distance learning. So it would not be surprising there's been a large number of people who've been pulled out of school recently. Parents are starting to find, okay, you know what, I can do this at home anyhow. Why don't I just do it at our own pace and do so? So especially with her being 6 years old, it would kind of, it would not be too surprising, put it that way. So there's been a lot of little things that people are looking at. There is a rumor that she was autistic. That is actually coming from the biological family. They felt she was autistic before they lost custody. However, I have not been able to find any proof of that beyond what they've said. So, no actual diagnosis that has come out officially. However, there is a feeling that the siblings and her were special needs. The people of Oahu continue to think about Isabella and tell her story. There will be a candlelight vigil held down on the beach in early October. People are driving with their car lights on to bring awareness to her. We have the color purple to help celebrate a little girl who loved the color purple. Isabella Kalua, also known as Ariel by her biological family, went missing on September 13th of this year, 2021. She is 6 years old and is 3 foot 3 inches tall, weighing 46 pounds. She has brown hair, brown eyes, and when she went missing, she was reported as wearing a black hoodie, black leggings, colorful socks, and Nike slides with pink bottoms. If anyone has any information whatsoever, they can report it anonymously to Crime Stoppers. Crime Stoppers has a phone number, area code 808-955-8300, for any of this information that needs to be shared. Or for our families and friends on the mainland, there is a website, www.honolulucrimestoppers.org. Please, if you have any information at all, take a moment, pick up the phone or open up your computer or iPad or Android or whatever you have and go to that website and let them know what you know. Other than that, please consider forwarding this out to anyone and everyone you know who might be able to help get the word out about Isabella. We as a community here on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all these locations have the ability to help close stories out, to get information out to the right people. All it takes is sharing something out. So take a moment, share this to people. You never know when that one share is going to reach the one person who might be able to help and get Isabella back to her family. Thank you all so much for joining me. I hope to bring other stories to the public in the future. If you happen to know of anyone who does have a story that needs shared, a picture that needs shared, information that needs shared, please let me know. You can do that through Discord. You can do that through my email, TheLokomaiLife@gmail.com. I look forward to talking to you in the future and bringing more missing people to you so that we can ensure more people know about them. Thank y'all so much and look forward to talking to you next time.